Madam, good morning.
Management, pre-sales, project management, and business development. His educational and specialized certifications are there is a lengthy list: BE Computer Science Engineering, Microsoft and Cisco certification, IMS, that is Information Security Management Systems, Lead Auditor, EC Council, CHFI, that is Computer Hacking and Forensic Investigator, MCFE, Magnet Certified Forensic Examiner, AX200, attended in Hong Kong, MSAB XRY C&I certification and intermediate course on mobile forensic, attended in Singapore. MSAB XRY AA, that is Advanced Acquisition, including JTAG and chip of course on mobile forensic, attended in India. DFF, that is Digital Forensic with FRFD by Digital Intelligence, USA. Undertaken CCFC, Cryptocurrency Fundamental Certification, and CRC, Chainalysis Reactor Certification from Chainalysis, USA. His basic key skills and characteristics are: played crucial role in providing product, service, and consultation to various law enforcement, investigation and intelligence agencies, and other government organizations in their modernization. Regular visiting faculty in CBI Academy, Ghaziabad, CDTI Ghaziabad, CAPT Bhopal for past 12 years, and have undertaken courses on mobile forensic, data extraction, password recovery, hard drive forensic for various law enforcement officials and police officers of India as well as of various other friendly countries. He is closely working with international OEMs around the globe in digital forensic and cyber intelligence and various investigating organizations on emerging technologies and advanced solutions to introduce globally available solutions to the Indian forensic community. He, with his team as a cyber experts, are actively involved in setting up of numerous state-of-the-art advanced cyber labs and train the forensic community to serve the nation. We are welcoming the Vibhu Anand sir. Today's session is on mobile phone investigations. We welcome you, Vibhu Anand sir, for the session. Vibhu Anand sir.
Yeah, very good morning. I hope you all can hear me and you can watch my video, and I'll just check also my screen sharing option as well. So can you please confirm my audio and video, please?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. And your video is also visible, sir.
Thank
Yes.
you. Okay, so I've shared my screen as well. So please confirm you can see the screen.
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
So very good morning again. Uh, thank you for this particular opportunity to conduct this kind of technical sessions, which will help the attendees to understand various kind of technology solutions available in this particular domain of mobile phone investigation or digital forensic investigation. So we are from the industry side, and I am founder of this company, Cyint Technologies, which was introduced in a brief. So we are headquartered in New Delhi, and basically an Indian company. So name was derived by like a cyber intelligence company, CY for cyber, INT for intelligence. So you can, if you can see my screen, so these are the few of the domains where we are extensively working and providing solutions nationwide in this particular domain to various government departments, law enforcement agencies, corporate, and a lot of intelligence organizations. So the area on which we are working, just to give a glimpse of that particular thing, so you should know what all solutions are available and what all fields are in demand and which are emerging technologies basically. And everyone is talking about this kind of investigation, digital investigation, so which is very much in demand nowadays. So the area where we are working is a hard drive forensics, damaged hard drive forensics, mobile forensics, which will be covering in detail today. Then in mobile forensics, we are also having solutions where you are having a damaged mobile phones and you want to chip off that particular mobile phone or do the JTAG of that particular mobile phone and extract the data from these kind of scenarios as well. Then one of the other area where we are working is a password recovery solution. Nowadays, everyone is aware about the security. So much of things are there. So same way like criminals or anti-national people or anti-social people, they are also protecting their data and information by various methods to like a password protection of the files or the something like a file vault or BitLocker or TrueCrypt kind of your full disk encryption, or maybe some different kind of things to protect their mobile phones or other devices as well. So we are providing and developing some solutions where you can get data from uh, protected phones as well. Then the other area where we are working is the social media, OSINT, dark web, and blockchain investigation, which is also we have categorized this particular thing into emerging technologies because this is something which is under regulations and a lot of things we must be looking in the media as well. So still it is not fully developed and a lot of laws has to be formed still in our country as well. So we have solutions where we can find out any kind of illegal usage of the monies using a crypto kind of thing. So we are helping various government organizations for that particular front as well. Then the other area where we are working is a cloud network and live forensic solutions. Like the when people are going for the sort of a digital investigation, so sometimes you're having a data which is stored on a hard drive or server data or similarly at many other places. But nowadays there are many circumstances where people are going to a crime scene, but they are not able to get the relevant data from the local storage devices because the data is stored is not on a local drives. It is stored in a cloud or some third party location, network location. And there are many instances where the person is using a machine and connected to many other IP networks or some other different kind of ports. So using this particular kind of technology, you can do the investigation on that particular area. Then one of the other area where we are strongly working is a video forensics. If you must have hearing a lot of news or some kind of sessions you will be attending, which will be talking about the CDR analysis or tower dump analysis. Like if suppose you have not seen me till date or you don't know my name also, and if suppose you are a investigating officer and you know my mobile number and you take the CDR data. CDR data is the call data records of my phone number from the service provider as a law enforcement officer of 1 month or 2 months. So you will be able to find out a lot of things about me, where is my office, where is my residence, uh, frequent callers, who can be my spouse or like office mates or which are the frequent places where I am visiting, where I am going for the dinner, where I am going for the lunch. So all this particular information you will be able to get from that particular CDR data. So similarly, you are also having some kind of tower dump data also, like if suppose there is an incident, say bomb blast in Mumbai at some particular place, and you don't know the suspect name, number, or anything. So what you will do, you will take a tower dump of that particular service provider in that particular locality and try to find out the something which is suspicious, maybe some numbers which are very regular, who are the employee of that particular area, or who are the residents of that particular area. There are few numbers which were new before the blast, kind of thing. So using some kind of analysis, you will be able to find out the something which is suspicious. So which is very much common these days. Similarly, like nowadays, we are also having so much of CCTV cameras. Like there was a recent news in Delhi. We are having if we check the highest number of cameras internationally worldwide. So like so many CCTV cameras are all around, like in banks, in ATMs, outside the residences, on the streets. In this particular kind of circumstances, you are having a lot of digital evidences available through the CCTV cameras. So there are few challenges, like if suppose you people want to work also, maybe some of you must be from the academic side and scholars, and doing some kind of research also. So these are when we talk about the hard drives. So generally the hard drives are having a defined file systems. Like if it is using a Windows machine, so it is having a exFAT or NTFS file system. And when we are talking about the Mac operating system, so it is having a Mac OS, or some kind of HFS and APFS kind of file systems are used. So, but when we talk about the DVR hard drives, so DVR hard drives in most of the scenario, they are using a proprietary file system, which is not detectable in Windows or a Mac machine or a Linux machine. So they use a very proprietary file system, so which are not recognized in a normal Windows machine. So there are some specialized software on which we are also working and developing, and we will welcome if anyone of the attendee wants to is working in this particular domain and want to join us for some kind of more development in this particular domain as well, for detecting variety of DVR hard drives and getting the data from these particular hard drives, the available data or deleted data or hidden data. We already have a technology, but we are trying to enhance that particular thing every day. So that is one of the other solution. Apart from that, we are also working in the domain where we are doing video analytics, like searching videos based on some kind of uh, like region of interest, or maybe a color of interest. Like your target was wearing a red shirt, or the vehicle, a suspicious vehicle was black in color. So looking for the 1 hour, 2 hours, or 8 hours kind of video footage, you want to analyze some kind of data based on these kind of fields. Or you can also have a solution where we are working is something on a license plate enhancement. If the license plate of the suspicious vehicle is not clear, so you want to enhance that particular thing, or you want to also clarify the face of the person who is a suspect. So these are the few of the domains where we are working, which are publicly declared. Apart from this, we are also working with some of the government organizations of India, where we are providing some kind of communication surveillance and other logging interception solutions also, which are not available here in the public domain. So uh, on the left side of my screen, if you will see, there are few of the OEMs. Generally speaking, the most of the products which we are selling, or which are used by many government organizations in India, they are not developed here in India, except few of them. Like we are working on 1 or 2 technologies at present. So most of these products are available through the OEMs, which are listed on the left side of my screen. So these are the international OEMs who are not only selling these particular products to India, but they are selling these products to all other government agencies worldwide, maybe FBI or CIA or UK Metropolitan Police or Scotland Yard or similar kind of many other government organizations. So they all are using a similar kind of product portfolio which we are selling here in India. Slightly about our organization, we are one of the leading digital forensic solution provider. We are having a skilled team. We are having our own digital forensic lab. We are having a lot of forensic services we are providing. So these are the few of the areas. We are into this business for almost more than 12 years now, and we are having a penetration of 80% across India for various cyber forensic labs. 4 in 5 relevant customers have used our products or services, and we are also these kind of lectures or these kind of sessions we are regularly doing for various government organizations also, as briefed by one of the initial speaker. This is like a few of our customers nationwide. As I mentioned, we are dealing here from Delhi, but we are having a presence everywhere in India, and these are the few of the customers to whom we are serving nationwide. So we are having a penetration from north till south, and east till northeast till west. So all you name any government customers who are into digital forensics or digital investigation, so they are using our solutions. So we have trained more than 5,000 people. This is not like we are not including the colleges and other things. These are the professionals who are working into the field of digital forensics. And we are having a 20 plus major tie-ups, and 20 plus unique customer base in India. And we have also set up many digital forensic labs across India. So these are the few of the OEMs which I have already shown to you. So one thing I want to highlight, like this particular session is for knowledge sharing and giving more details about the technology solutions available in the market, and how you can utilize these kind of technologies, or how you can evolve these kind of technologies as well here in India also. So generally speaking, we are into the field of digital forensics. So we generally say that man behind the machine is very important aspect. It is very important thing. So whenever you are using any kind of forensic examination machine, so if you are not having a trained manpower behind that particular machine, so the results may change. So the certifications or the training is very important aspect. So as we are doing some kind of training session these in this 5 days also. So these are few of the certificates which are available and internationally recognized. So few of you must be aware about some kind of CES, Certified Ethical Hacker, or Computer Hacking Forensic Investigator. These are the international vendor neutral courses by EC Council, and the recognition of these particular courses in USA or India is exactly same. And they are the foundation if you are planning to some kind of career in the field of digital forensics. So CHFI is one of the good course which you can learn and opt for. Apart from, there are many other courses which are like a vendor specific, like magnet certification from one of the leading organization into hard drive forensics. Then we are having some certifications from AMSAP XRY, which teach you from the basics fundamental of extraction of data from SIM card till JTAG and chip off. This is by AMSAP company from Sweden. And then there are some certifications from Passware, which is talking about how to decrypt various protected data in a shape of file, or drives, or maybe a physical drive, or many other methods. Similarly, there are some certifications in the field of cryptocurrency investigation also. So these are the few of the certificates which are available on an international platform in the field of digital forensics. So most of the team members working in our organizations, they are possessing these kind of certifications as well. So today's topic is more like on a mobile forensics, mobile investigation, and like kind of thing. So we are having one of the punchline of our organization. We say human keep secrets, computers don't. So this is very much applicable when you are doing a digital investigation. So most of the times when I'm giving any lecture or training to any government organizations or any set of people, so we generally say, like, suppose if you seize my mobile phone, so if you, maybe you are my spouse or kid or parents or anyone very close to me, So your mobile phone is having a more data about that particular individual than that particular individual must be knowing himself. Because knowingly or unknowingly, your mobile phone is storing a lot of data which you are not aware. Like I'm sure that all the people attending this particular session, maybe some of you must be using a mobile phone also to attend the session. But if you are using a desktop or a laptop also, so the mobile phone must be next to you. So it is a compulsory and mandatory thing which has to be next to you. And I consider the mobile phone as a detachable body part. So like it is something like a body part. If suppose you are going to a college or school or your office or any other place, and if you are missing your mobile phone, so you will not feel comfortable. You will feel slightly uneasy because you will feel that some of your body part is missing. So that kind of a tendency everyone is having, and similarly, a lot of criminals or antisocial people must be also having, unless they are trained on something specific, how to live without the mobile phone. So we'll be talking about something about mobile phones. So before going to the mobile phone in detail, so I will just try to any kind of feedback till now, any queries or questions if you are having, so we can uh, check that as well. Or my pace is okay. So, any one of you, if you can just give a go ahead that the volume and the pace or the my language, everything is easily understandable.
Yes, sir. Everything is fine.
Okay, thank you very much. So, most of you are from the engineering background or maybe a technical background kind of thing. So, I'll just give a slight glimpse before going to mobile phones. So, generally speaking, right now we are communicating between each other. So, sometimes because of COVID and all this particular reasons, we are having all these particular sessions in an online method. But generally speaking, prior to COVID, all these particular sessions we were doing in person in a conference room or in a training hall. So when we are sitting in a training hall or in a conference room and talking to each other, so we are communicating between each other. So what I'm speaking to in that particular conference room or a training room is the people who are available in that particular room are able to listen to that particular communication. But when we are not sitting next to each other or in the same room and we want to communicate between each other, then what we do, we use some kind of communication medium. So we use some kind of communication medium like a landline phones or some kind of wireless communication or wired communication. So when we talk about, there are two different ways of communicating between each other when you are far away. So one is a wired communication. Wired communication is something where like you must be using a telephone lines earlier. Nowadays, most of the homes are not having landlines, which we used to call earlier, or a wired telephone. So there is a like a exchange like a BSNL or MTNL or some kind of Airtel exchange is there, and you apply for the telephone number and you get a physical number like say 08022205932, something like this for number will be given to you. So that number will be physically deployed with a wired connectivity at your place. So that particular telephone set is having some kind of dial tone. So you know what is dial tone? Like generally speaking, nowadays the mobile phones doesn't have a dial tone. So earlier they used to have a dial tone when we pick up the phone and listen to that particular phone. So we used to see some kind of tone which is coming, which we used to call dial tone earlier. When your phone is active, which is having a voltage and current on a line, so these phone lines are having a copper wire. So a single pair, two wires are coming to your home premises or office premises, which are terminated on that particular telephone line. So if the voltage and current is available on that particular telephone line, so you can listen the dial tone and then you dial that particular your destination number and you are able to speak to the other party using that particular phone. So generally, if you are from a technical side, like this particular telephone lines works on a voltage phenomena. When phone is not in use, and in idle condition when the cradle is down. So in that particular time, the voltage on that particular telephone line is 48 volts, generally speaking. And when you pick up the phone to make a call or receive a call, so at that particular time, the voltage drops from 48 volts to 12 volts. So there is a change in the voltage when you are picking the call to receive a call or make a call. So why I'm telling this thing, maybe sometimes these things are helpful in your investigation or any kind of research you are working in this particular domain. And there is a third change in the voltage. When this particular telephone lines, there is a ring on the telephone lines, the voltage increases to around 110 to 120 volt. So if you touch the open wire of these telephone lines, so you will feel the current only when there is a ring on this particular line, because at that time only it goes to 110 and 120 volts voltage, which is DC voltage, not a AC voltage. And these are the three different variations which are there on a wired telephone lines. Now, when we talk about the wireless technology, so like in a wireless technology, you must be seeing like a lot of police officers or the government people, or maybe if you are going to the airport or railway stations, so agencies like Airport Authority of India or Indigo Airlines or SpiceJet or Blue Dart Courier, or similarly many other like Karnataka Police or your SPG, Special Protection Group, or NSG, or CISF, or CRPF, they all are using a walkie-talkie systems. So, what are walkie-talkie systems? These walkie-talkie systems are working on a wireless technology. So, wireless technology is something like where you are not having a physical wire terminating to your place, but the device is available through some radio frequency. So if you see there are some radio stations like you must be listening to Red FM or Radio Mirchi or FM Gold, FM Rainbow. So these kind of radio stations you must be listening. So these are also working on a radio frequency. So all these particular uh, uh, radio stations, they are allotted with some defined radio frequency by the government of India. So radio frequencies are operated under the government of India instructions and the norms. Basically, it is not feasible that me as a Vibhu Anand, or you as a like a engineering college, or you as an individual, or you as a maybe a IPS officer or IAS officer, you start transmitting anything yourself. So you have to take a permission. You have to get some kind of frequency to speak on that particular radio channel. So all these particular radio channels, they are designated with some particular defined frequency, and they are also given with the some kind of like a wattage, like how strongly you can transmit your signals. So how strongly you can transmit your signals means whether your signals are only available in the Bangalore city or Delhi city, or your signals can be transmitted all over the state. So it all depends upon how much wattage of signals you can transmit. So like all these particular radio stations are working in a one-way communication. They are just transmitters which are transmitting the frequency, and we sitting in our home or in our car, we are having the receivers. So these particular receivers we tune to that particular frequency of FM Gold or FM Rainbow or Red FM, and we tune to that frequency and able to listen to that particular frequency. So this is also a wireless communication, but it is working in a one-way communication. You are just listening to that particular thing, and the radio stations are only transmitting that particular frequency. So, similarly, in this particular thing, uh, there are walkie-talkies, which I was talking earlier. So the walkie-talkies are working in a like a full duplex mode, like something where you can not only transmitting, but you can also receive the communication which you are doing. So all these particular people like Authority of India or police organizations and other similar kind of organizations, they are also assigned with some defined frequency, and they are having a radio sets which are programmed on that particular frequency, and they can in between they can talk with each other. So this is the wireless communication system which we are using, which works on a HF, VHF, UHF frequency. And generally speaking, these particular frequencies which are allotted to Airport Authority of India or police organizations or the various other government organizations or private organizations by the government bodies. So these frequencies are in a different range. It is not in a citizen band kind of thing, like when you are using your radios at your in your car or at your home. So you can't tune to that particular frequency on which police or these kind of organizations are transmitting, because that frequencies are on a different band. Okay, so that is not feasible, but still there are some methodologies and methods available, tools available, devices available. Using that, you can also intercept frequencies of that particular devices also. So, like you must be listening to some of the news sometimes, like that the government of India or the intelligence organizations of India were able to intercept some kind of communication from the border and able to find out that there are 5 terrorists who are trying to enter inside the Jammu and Kashmir. So all this particular information is coming from when they are doing some kind of communication surveillance or communication intelligence using these kind of technologies. Okay, so but nowadays, like our agencies as well as the other parties also, they are using encryption on this kind of communication system, so that any kind of interception or surveillance is happening, so they can be protected by using a encryption methodology. Like on a WhatsApp, you are using a encryption, end-to-end encryption. So if anybody wants to intrude and want to gain the information, what you are communicating from your device to the other device in between, so that will be encrypted. The person will not be able to decode that thing in a normal way. So that kind of communication system we are using. Similarly, when we talk about the mobile phones, so in the mobile phones also, like we are having generally we were using a GSM or CDMA mobile phone technology. So CDMA was earlier popular, but now the CDMA is almost gone from India. So there are no service providers who are providing a CDMA technology. Mostly we are using a GSM mobile phones only. So mobile phones are also working on a similarly on a wireless technology. You don't have a physical wire which is terminating on your mobile phone. So it is catching a signals from a environment only, from the radio frequency only. So the only difference is basically that the radio stations like FM Gold, FM Rainbow, and other similar kind of service providers, or the police people, or the Airport Authority of India, or SpiceJet or Indigo, they are using a fixed frequency. Their frequency is fixed, so they are not changing unless they are changing as per some government norms. So it is fixed for years together. But when we talk about the mobile phone, they are not having a fixed frequency. They work on a frequency hopping technique. Like when you open your mobile phone and talk on the mobile phone, so every millisecond the frequency is changing. So you can't use some kind of device to monitor or this thing. So it works in a very different way, like the other frequency based wireless communication is working. So this is about slightly about the GSM, where we are having two major parts. One is a SIM card and other is a mobile phone. And SIM card and mobile phones both are like work independent. So there is no dependency about the SIM card and a mobile phone. You can go and purchase any SIM card from Airtel, Vodafone, BSNL, MTNL, Geo, or any service provider, and you can purchase any GSM mobile phone from of any brand, like maybe a Apple or Samsung or LG or OnePlus, or many other Chinese based phones, or Sony Ericsson or Panasonic, and you can insert that SIM card into a mobile phone and your device will start functioning. So mobile phone and SIM cards are generally independent devices until unless they are having some kind of a scheme and binding of that particular service provider with that particular mobile phone. So that is about something some about mobile. So when we talk about the mobile communication, So you can see here like there are something called as mobile BTS base stations, then MTS, which is the master station, and then you are having a mobile phone. So when you are your mobile phone only works when you are in range. So what do you mean by range? Range means that there should be a tower in that particular vicinity. If you are going into a remote location or hilly area or some place where there are mountains or some kind of obstructions are there, so sometimes you don't see that you are getting a signals on your mobile phone. That is because your the tower which is there in that particular vicinity is not sending a signals to that particular place. So you everywhere there should be a tower, then only you will be able to use the mobile phone. So if there is no tower, which we called as a BTS, you will not be able to get the signal. So these BTS are further connected to the some mobile switching center kind of thing. So they all are like earlier we used to call mobile phone as a cell phone. Okay, you can see here like the pictures behind this in a light color. So these are something which we are calling as cells. So all these particular cells are connected with each other. Okay, and your mobile phone should be in any one of these particular cells. So that is the reason we used to call earlier cell phones, not mobile phones. So they are working in this particular way. So like this is one more picture like which is showing like you are using a SIM card which you can connect into a mobile device, and then there are BTS which are located at many places. Then there is a base station controller, and then mobile service switching center which can be at central location in any place in India, and then it is further connected to the other network. So this is the like a typical setup of any mobile service provider. So, like everyone is using the mobile phone and they are well versed with the mobile phone. So, generally speaking, nowadays, still nowadays, like we used to say something like a basic phones earlier, but there are very rarely some of the people are using a basic phones. But still, some of the antisocial people or criminals or terrorists, they are trying to use some kind of basic phones also, which is used as a use and throw kind of thing. They use it for some particular purpose and then throw that particular mobile phone after that particular purpose is solved. And in some of the government organizations, also a lot of government agencies, top intelligence organizations, they are also using a basic phone which is not having a camera and which is not having some kind of additional data connectivity. Only the basic phone which is used to make a call or receive SMS or send SMS kind of thing due to security reasons also. So sometimes some of the people are using a basic phones also, and otherwise, generally speaking, most of the people around us they are using feature phones or the smartphones. So we have slightly done some kind of categorization, like what is the major difference between the feature phones and the smartphones. So like which you can see it on my screen as well. So, like when we talk about the mobile phone, so there is a lot of changes in a mobile phone. Like you must be watching in last few years or 10 years or 15, 20 years also. Like we have seen a big phones going back to the smaller phones, and then again smaller phones going back to the bigger screen phones also. So based on the how we are using a mobile phone and for what particular purpose, that it is evolving and changing accordingly. So like earlier we used to have some kind of mobile phones with the antenna. Now we don't have an antenna in the mobile phones, or maybe they are having an inbuilt antenna on the body of the mobile phone itself. Earlier we used to have a bigger mobile phones, and then they changed to the smaller sleek kind of mobile phones. And now because we are using a mobile phones almost like a PC, in generally speaking, like what all you can do it on a desktop or laptop if you are having a good mobile phone. So a lot of people they are able to do everything on that particular mobile phone itself. So that's why it is having some kind of bigger screen nowadays without keypad kind of things. So this is some kind of era we have defined, like how the things were changed. Like initially it was used only for mobile for calling for some kind of thing. Then later on, it was used for a messaging kind of thing. Then people started using for the gaming and some other kind of purpose, sharing data and all. So these are some kind of like how the things were changing with the mobile phones, and now the mobile phones are so like strong that it has because of the mobile phone, few of the commodities or few of the industries or few of the like full-fledged technology was vanished. There was something called as pagers. If you remember, if any one of you have used any time earlier. So like when pagers were introduced, so pagers were a small device like which was having some one or two line numeric display. So when you are going and traveling outside, so you can be connected with the office or with your home, and you can send a message through a pager to each other. So, but immediately after the pager technology, the mobile phones were introduced. The mobile phone technology was introduced. So the mobile phone was having the SMS facility, which was more easy and convenient to use than the pager. So because of the mobile phones, the pager industry was vanished, and we after that there was no pager at all for so many years. Similarly, I will say that one of the other industry which was highly affected due to the due to the evolution of mobile phone is camera industry. Like if you go and ask for go to the Sony showroom or Canon showroom or Nikon showroom and ask for some kind of cameras of range of up to 20,000 or 25,000, which were very popular cameras earlier. So they will say that there is no production of the cameras of this particular range. You are only having a very high-end DSLR cameras only, which are used by the professionals. The reason behind that is that your mobile phone is having such a effective and strong camera which can take a better pictures than that kind of cameras. So that was the reason that particular industry was also affected and almost vanished. So mobile phone is very strong and which is a part of our day-to-day lifestyle. So you must be aware about various kind of operating systems which we are using. So like when we use computers, so we are using a Windows or Mac or Linux operating system. Similarly, like there are the operating systems which are there in the mobile phones itself. So like we are having an Android operating system, Windows operating system, iOS, Apple iOS, BlackBerry. Similarly, there are many other operating systems also which are available in the mobile phones. So mobile phone operating systems are very large in size. So like uh, unlike hard drive operating systems, uh, for last few years after the induction or introduction of the Android, like I used to give some kind of lectures to CBI almost from 15 years. So there was a time when I used to tell that Android will be the future. Android will be the future. So till that particular time, very few people were using Android phones or the Apple iOS based phones. So only the Symbian based operating system was the most popular at that particular time in the something like a feature phones or a smartphones kind of technology. And now we see that most of the people sitting here in this particular class, I don't see that any one of you are must be having a any phone which is not either must be having an Android operating system or Apple iOS based mobile phone. So that is that kind of penetration we are having of Android operating system in our mobile industry. And generally speaking, when we used to go and take the classes long back, so we used to ask how many of you are using a mobile phone. So that was one of the question earlier. But now if I ask you how many of you are using a mobile phone, so it is a criminal question. The question should be like this: how many of you are there who are not having a two mobile phones or two SIM cards? And I'm sure that most of the people who are attending this particular session, either they must be having two mobile phones or two SIM cards with them. So that is one of the mandatory thing which everyone is possessing nowadays. And so like these are the few of the top 10 smartphones brand which are very popular in international market. So like the Samsung, Apple, Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, LG, Lenovo, ZTE, Dell, and these are not only 10 smartphones, so 10 different brands. There are huge like brands. If you start writing the name of the manufacturers or the model of the mobile phones, and by the time you will stop or you will be almost at the end of the list which you are having, or which you must have explored or done a research. So by the time you will finish, you will be having a similar kind of list again, because so many new mobile phones and technologies are added every day. So number of smartphone users, like if you see, there is a drastic change happening, like from 2010 till 2021. So there is a like exponential growth happening, and like this is the prediction, like how the mobile phone, smartphone usage will be increased in coming years as well. So so a lot of data is available in these kind of smartphones, which are required to be investigated also. Okay, so there are like new development, like there's a an artificial intelligence, instant apps for Android users, cloud-based applications, healthcare. There are now foldable devices, cross-platform developments, IoT for smart devices. So these are the many things which are happening all around in this particular domain. Then how the mobile phones are used or misused, basically, like in variety of the cybercrime cases or the crime cases. So it is used for the stalking and harassment, crime against children, narcotics, drugs, economic crimes, terrorist activity. So social engineering, conventional crimes, civil wrongs, OTP fraud. So in all this kind of scenario, like if you're investigating any kind of case or working on any kind of investigation, maybe it is you are investigating something at your home, or maybe you are investigating something as a police officer, or maybe something like as a corporate investigator or an industry investigator. So mobile phone is an essential thing, like because mobile phone is a body part of each and every individual. Like if suppose there is an incident on the road also, so uh, so everyone is using a mobile phone. Maybe nowadays the rickshaw wala puller is using a mobile phone. The auto rickshaw person is using a mobile phone. The person who is coming to take the garbage from your home is using a mobile phone. The person who is coming and selling vegetables or fruits is also having a mobile phone. So mobile phone is used everywhere. So maybe you take high profile case of Aryan Khan, where some kind of drugs involvement was there. So in that case also there was a investigation of the mobile phone. Similarly, there are other people, political kind of cases are there. So there is again an investigation of the mobile phone. So mobile phone is having a lot of data, lot of evidence. As I mentioned initially, maybe the evidence which you may not be aware and is stored in your mobile phone knowingly or unknowingly. So a lot of data is available which can be used for the investigation. So it is a essential thing for any kind of investigation. So like there are many IT acts as per the government of India, which is in which the mobile phones is also having a presence. These are some of the other like mobile crimes which are used. So with increased mobile penetration, the cybercrime in India is also increased by 88% since 2015. So there are a lot of frauds. I'm sure that every day, at least one call or one SMS, you all must be receiving from the suspicious person, talking about your bank, talking about your insurance policy, talking about your some kind of Amazon offer. Sometimes you're getting some kind of other different kind of offers. Also, OTP frauds and phishing is happening so commonly. Okay, so similarly, like there are many other cases which are listed here. So these are the few of the screenshots, like how you are like taken into fraud, basically. So these are the few of the screenshots which people they used to get to attract, get attracted and get into this kind of traps. So similarly, there is a SIM card swap fraud also, like one of the cases where a lot of people from the Bangalore they lose the cash due to this particular thing, and so these are happening all around us. So these are the various kind of real-time uh, things which how the mobile phone is helping us in our day-to-day working or day-to-day lifestyle also, but it is also misused by many people as an individual, as a group of people who are creating some kind of things through which you are losing your something like a financial credibility or the your status or individual credibility kind of thing. So now, how to do the investigation in this particular scenarios? Like, so we are having something called as mobile forensics. So mobile forensics is basically a branch of digital forensics where we are recovering the data from a variety of mobile phones in a forensically sound manner. So forensically sound manner is very important thing. Like you must be aware about something on digital forensics. So there are something like we use something called as write blockers so that by deliberately or by mistake we should not be able to write anything on our original evidence, so it should be protected from any kind of tampering. So we use something kind of something like a write blockers. Then we use something called as cloning imaging devices. So cloning imaging devices is something like to make a copy of the original evidence. So some of you must have heard about something called as Dolly sheep. So Dolly sheep was a biological clone which was done by one of the country long back. So maybe in coming time we can have a clones of like my Vibhu Anand, or clones of Madam Rajeshwari, or clone of Mr. X or Mr. Y, and one can go to the other place, other can sit in the office. So that kind of thing is there in a like when we talk about the biological clone. So the sheep was biologically cloned identically. So with all the parameters, by all the exact biological parameters. Similarly, in the field of digital forensics or digital investigation, we talk about the digital evidence cloning. So digital evidence cloning means like you are having a original evidence with you, maybe in the shape of hard drive or a USB drive or some other memory card, and you want to make a clone of that particular thing. So you will use some kind of methods to make a forensic copy, or we call as image or clone of the original evidence. So everything which is available on our original evidence, available data, deleted data, hidden data, like unallocated data. So everything will be copied into the forensic copy. So when you are doing any kind of investigation, so you should do an investigation on the like a copied data, not on the original evidence, because the original evidence you have to produce in the court of law, maybe after a 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years kind of time. So I'll just cite one of the example, like there was a person called Ajmal Kasab who was involved in Mumbai terrorist attack, or there was a some Swami in Panchkula who was there were a lot of followers of that particular person who was involved in some kind of crime. So these people, when there was a investigation, or when there was a court proceedings of these particular kind of people, so these particular people, I will say Ajmal Kasab as a evidence, or some Baba as a evidence. So they were not like carried by the police people every day or on every hearing to the court. So generally, either the court was coming to the police station, or maybe the through video conferencing they were doing a court hearing. So the objective was to protect the evidence from any kind of unwanted things. Unwanted things means threat to that particular evidence, maybe Ajmal Kasab, or maybe tampering of that particular evidence. Tampering of the evidence means somebody like some kind of maybe attack on that particular person, or maybe some kind of law and order situation may go bad. So to avoid all these kind of situations, so we were protecting that particular evidence. So similarly, in the digital forensics domain, we are also protecting the original evidence. So we consider original evidence as a Ajmal Kasab, so which we have to produce in the court when it is required. So we make a there is a method here. We can make a forensic copy, and any kind of evidence analysis you want to do, you should make it on the copied data, not on the original evidence. Similarly, you must be also aware about something called as hash values. So like suppose if you people are watching my video from the beginning, so I was using a glass of water here. So you all must have heard about something called as Arushi Hatyakant case, which was in Noida, Delhi. It was a very high profile and with a like a very large tenure kind of case where which went under UP police, Uttar Pradesh police, then went to CBI, then again back to police organization, then again back to the second team of CBI. So it went for multiple years together. So when you are going to a crime scene, so you are collecting variety of digital evidences. So variety of digital evidences. Beyond that particular thing, there can be something like other traditional evidences also. Traditional evidences can be something like a fingerprint on the door, maybe some blood stains in that particular building, maybe a bottle of whiskey there, or maybe a glass of water or glasses kept on the dining table. So these are all are evidences which any person has to seize from that particular crime scene. So these, like this particular glass of water is also having some kind of uh, fingerprints on this particular things. So like some parameters are associated with this evidence. The parameters are what is the height of the glass, what is the diameter of the glass, what is the color of the glass, what is the color of the liquid, how much ml this particular glass is having the water or whatever is there in this particular thing. So all these parameters are associated. So if you compare this particular evidence 30 minutes before and at this particular time, so there is a small difference. The difference is basically the volume of the this particular substance or the water inside this particular glass is changed, because I was sipping in between also this particular glass. So you can observe that the glass was full 30 minutes before, but now it is almost half. So this thing, as an individual or as a witness, you can identify externally. But when we talk about the something like a digital evidence, like you are having a hard drive, you are having a USB drive, or you are having a similar kind of digital evidences which you have seized from the crime scene. So looking externally, like can you give me a USB drive? So, like when we say like you are having a hard drive or a USB drive or similar kind of digital evidences which you have seized from a crime scene, and you want to look for the data from that particular thing. So externally, you can't find out any changes. Okay. So how much doc files are there? How many PDF files are there? Or how many pictures are there? How many videos are there? Or it is written meet me at Pathankot railway station, or it is written like meet me at Pathankot Air Base. So these particular things externally, by looking on the digital evidence, maybe a hard drive or a USB drive or memory card or some mobile phone, you can't find out. So in this particular case, what we do, there is something called as hash values. So we in digital forensics, we create a hash value, which is a standard algorithms used worldwide, something called as, you must be aware about, MD5, SHA-1, SHA-2 hash values are there. So which once you run the program or the application on the digital evidence, so it will give you a length of alphanumeric characters, and that alphanumeric characters, when you have seized that particular evidence and when you are producing in a court of law after 6 months or 1 year, if suppose that particular data is exactly same, the hash value is exactly same, it means the evidence is intact. There is no loss of evidential value. There is no tampering of that particular evidence. So that is something, some kind of technologies which are used in digital forensics to protect your evidence from any kind of unwanted things or some kind of tampering. So going forward from here, this is something about the mobile phones in the past or in the future. So we were using in the past the mobile phones. Like initially when we started using, as told earlier, the mobile phones. So we were only using for making calls or receiving calls or sending SMS or receiving SMS. And later on, we extensively started using it for many other reasons, like taking pictures or making notes or many other things for for as a wallet or making payments or making air tickets or some kind of things. And in the future, the mobile phone will be something like, as I mentioned, it is now itself is a body part, but you will be like, I'm sitting here. I want to see how my car is performing, how my fridge is cooling, or how my lights at my home in my absence is working, and how my cameras are working, or how my microwave is working, or whether I left my geyser on or not. So all these things will be on your fingertips through the mobile phone. So the adoption of IoT will drive a massive increase in connected devices. So you will be fully connected with your office or home or wherever you want to have with your mobile phone itself. So that kind of transformation we are looking in the mobile phones. So a lot of data is available here. So when we say like why we require mobile investigation or mobile forensics. So like use of mobile phone is increasing in all types of fields and activities for storage and sharing of information. Mobile devices store personal or corporate information, increasing privacy and security features by mobile companies. Almost every work poses and uses mobile devices. It is used for online transaction. So there are many reasons like why the mobile forensics should be used. And these are the few of the data which can be found on the mobile phones. So you are having a multimedia data like audio, video, photos, call logs, contact information, location and GPS. Sometimes the GPS locations are stored without your knowledge also when you are posting something on a Facebook or clicking a picture of yours or your family or friends in some place in Goa or UK or USA. So knowingly or unknowingly, if you are not use the correct settings, it may store the your GPS let long also with the picture as well. Similarly, like SMS, SIM card data, phone memory data, Bluetooth information, Wi-Fi data. Sometimes you are traveling and you're using many Wi-Fis, or maybe you have not used a Wi-Fi, but your mobile phone came into some kind of Wi-Fi coverage also. So maybe that particular data is also stored in a mobile phone in some of the cases. Uh, Calendar events, various kind of applications installed and used, deleted data, browsing history, cache data, emails, subscriber details. So these are the few of the data which is available in the mobile phones, which can be extensively extracted. Maybe the available data as well as the deleted data also in most of the times, so which can help for any kind of mobile investigation. So when we talk about the mobile phones, initially I told to you that can check any questions. So initially I told you that generally we are having two things. One is a SIM card and another is a mobile phone, and both are independently working and it can be purchased from the separate service providers. SIM from a SIM card service provider, mobile phone from the mobile phone company or mobile phone reseller. Generally, when we talk about the data, how the data is stored, so when we use a desktop or laptop computer, so data is generally stored in two places. Like either you are having a non-volatile data, which is stored on your hard drives or SSD drives, which are permanent in storage, and then you are having a volatile data which is stored in your RAM or a memory basically, which can now go up to 32 GB, 64 GB, 128, or up to terabytes also. Earlier, it used to be in some MBs only. So there are these two places generally the data is available. If you're not storing the data on a computer and using a computer extensively, so there is a fair chance that your passwords and many other sites or payments or what banking things which you have used for the laptop or desktop are available in your RAM memory. So that are the two places from where you can get the data. And if you are using the internet extensively, then you can get some kind of cloud data also from a laptop or mobile laptop or a desktop. But when we talk about the mobile phone, so in mobile phone, generally we see there are 4 places in most of the circumstances. Like there's a SIM card memory, then there's a mobile phone memory, then there is a memory card. If it is used in that particular mobile phone, then there is a cloud data. So these are the 4 places as on date which are used extensively to store the data. And this storage of data can change based on the type of the mobile phone used. So if you are using a basic mobile phone, so in that case, most of your data is stored on a SIM card. SIM card is having a very limited memory space, but still the basic mobile phone is having a very less storage space. So most of the data is stored on a SIM card. When you talk about the feature phones, so in the feature phones, the data is stored on a mobile phone. And when we talk about the smartphone, so in the smartphones, depending upon the type of the mobile phone and type of the operating system used, the user can set many parameters like whether he want to store a data on a mobile phone or whether he want to store a data on a memory card. So like or maybe sometimes in some of the cases he can store the data on a cloud also. So these are the 4 major places where the data can be located in a mobile phone and can vary from type of the mobile phone itself. So because we are having a shortage of time, so I'll just continue my presentation. Meantime, I will request to show some of the practical things also to you, which will be also interested. You people must be interested to see that also. So I'll just show how to extract the data from a SIM card. So I'll ask my team to set up that particular thing parallelly while I'm giving a lecture. Then in between, we'll be showing some kind of practical demonstrations as well. So I was talking about the SIM card. We are generally having a SIM and USIM. So these are the different differentiators between the SIM and USIM, like what all things are there. And you must have seen these kind of SIMs. Earlier we used to have this kind of full SIM card, and now that particular SIM card is changed into a mini SIM or micro SIM or nano SIM also. So the latest SIM cards or latest mobile phones, if you are using, so you're using a nano SIM. So SIM card is a subscriber identity module, which is used to process and store the data. So one thing I want to highlight, this is very important, like every one of you must be using a ATM cards. You must be using a banking, so you must have got the ATM cards like a credit cards or debit cards. So the SIM cards are also like your credit cards or debit cards, or there may be a situation where the manufacturer of that particular your debit card or the manufacturer of that particular SIM card may be same. Say some company called as Gemalto. So they are the company who have developed that particular thing, and what they have done, they have just programmed the debit cards for the banking application and programmed the SIM cards for the mobile application. So they only just done the difference in the programming, and maybe the manufacturer of the debit card or the manufacturer of the SIM card may be a similar organization. So in the SIM card, you are having some kind of data. So if you see on the right side top on my screen, these are the 4 SIM cards which are here on this picture. So there are some numbers which are printed on this particular SIM cards. So these numbers are called as ICCID number, like a card identifier number. So these, generally speaking, these particular numbers are printed on the SIM card. If you purchase a new micro SIM or nano SIM, so it will be on the center back of this particular golden color. Otherwise, if it is a full SIM card, so it must be printed like this. And this card identity module is number is a unique number, which is also stored inside the memory of the SIM card also, and which is printed here also. So then you are having something called as IMSI number, and there are in the SIM card you can store some kind of SMS, contacts, and calls also. And if you want to store a videos, audios, or some kind of pictures onto a SIM card, so that is not feasible. The file system of that particular SIM card, which is also very unique, will not support to store any kind of data on the SIM card. So these are the few of the data sensitive data which is stored on a SIM card, like a card identity module, IMSI number, like you are having a IMEI number, so which is unique to a mobile phone. Similarly, there is a IMSI number, International Mobile Subscriber Identity, which is unique to the SIM card. Service provider name, mobile country code, mobile network code, MSIN, MSISDN. MSISDN is a technical term which is used for a mobile phone. Like my mobile number is 98180911173. So we call this is my mobile number. In a technical way, it is called as MSISDN. Okay, so these are the few of the things which are stored on the mobile phone. So only these kind of data can be stored or relate to the SIM card, not mobile phone. So these you can't store anything beyond this particular thing which are listed here onto the SIM card memory. Okay, nowadays we are also using the embedded SIM, which is we used to call as eSIM. Like some of the, like if you're using a latest iPhones or Android devices, so these are having a eSIM feature. So you are not having a physical SIM from the service provider. So you are just asking to enable or activate the eSIM feature. You will get some kind of messages and some kind of OTPs and other thing. Based on that, your mobile phone will be integrated with that SIM number, which will be provided with the service provider. So before going to further, I will just switch and show it to you something like how to extract the data from the SIM card. So I'm just sharing the rights to my colleague so that he can extend this. Just hold. If the organizer can just Preneet, can just make Preneet Abhishek as a presenter. I can't see that particular thing right now on my screen.
So Pranit or Abhishek, sir?
Abhishek.
Abhishek, okay, sir.
Okay.
Done, sir.
Thank you. So my colleague Abhishek, who is from a technical side and traveling nationwide to various government organizations, he will just show something on like how to extract the data from a SIM card. So like you can see here on the screen.
We can see the screen, sir, but we can't hear it.
Just hold on, I'll just check.
Uh, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, sure. So I was just telling you like I'm just showing you one of the interface, so like when you get some of the investigations like mobile forensics and all, so how you are taking the same investigations over there. So like as sir has already explained you, like when we talk about mobile forensics, so we have different types of evidences over there, like SIM card, memory card, and the phones over there. So similarly, the basic thing that will look in any of the investigation is the SIM card, because that's contain most of your prior information. Like these days we have USIM. So most of the people, they don't save their contacts or their messages or any of the call logs on the SIM. But earlier, if you found like when we used to have some like 2G networks or something like that, so we are having the SIM modules over there. So we have some space capacity like something around 256 KB or 524 KB over there to store some of the information like your call, like your messages, like your some file system over there, like your some contacts over there. Similarly, you just take this evidence to extract most of the data from that particular device. So when I say the SIM, so SIM is generally divided into three parts. Like one is your SIM, one is your USIM, and one is your eSIM. So SIM is something which is earlier used to found in your 2G networks or 3G networks. Nowadays, which the SIM card which you uses on your phone, like some of your 4G of right now we have 4G, and in the meantime we'll be having the 5G also. That comes under the one of the module called as USIM. That stands for the universal SIM over there. And at the same time, most of the Apple devices, like these days you see a lot of us in India is like very fancy about Apple and all these iPhones over there, like iPhone 13 or iPhone 12. So we used to have some eSIM over there, that is embedded SIM. So we don't do the very extracting the SIM from the phone or doing the data extraction from there. So let's say I have one of the phone with me and I just got it as one of the evidence in one of the crime scene over there. So my prime focus will be to extract the data from that particular SIM card. So we have a two-way around. So if we have some feature phones with us, like if I show you in this camera, like over here, like just give me one sec. Yes. Sport is everything. Okay. Let me just turn on my camera, then I can show you. Okay. So like if I just show you, can you this one? Okay. So I think there is some issue with my camera that it's not working over there. So I'll just tell sir to show in his laptop the same mobile phone. So like if I tell you like when we used to get some of the feature phones over there. So in that case, we don't take out the SIM card in the first go and turn off the phone. Like if we see in the mobile phone investigations and all, generally when we receive some of the feature phones like basic feature phones which we used to earlier times. So what the basic agenda over here is to take the phone, turn it switch off over there because you can't disconnect the network over there, and don't ever try to remove the SIM and just turn the phone back again. So if you do this, so what happens like generally in the basic feature phones you have some deleted calls, contact messages, they used to get flushed out from there. So in that case we used to make a clone of that same SIM card, and we used to clone some of the basic kind of a module like your ICC ID and IMG number over there, and we used to put that same clone SIM card in your basic feature phone. Then we turn out that particular phone and get the data from that particular phone in a very physical medium or the logical medium which we used to take in the mobile forensic domain. So like if I have some basic feature phone, so I'll just proceed in that particular manner. And later on, when I did my extraction of the phone, we did the extraction from the SIM card also. So similarly, when I talk about like some of your Android phones or some of your like Apple's phones, which you used to have these days, so what we do, so when we receive some evidence, we first target is to disconnect from the entire network. So once we disconnect from the network, then we have a different way of investigation. First, we go for the SIM investigations, then we go for the memory card investigation, then we go for the phone investigation. So when I say for the SIM card, so we generally take the SIM card and plug it in our some of the device adapter, like we used to have with some of our basic tool like MSAB XRY or any of your other mobile forensic tool like Celebrite or something like that. We used to take it in the mobile forensic domain. Then you just connect that same adapter over there. So this is one of the basic software interface which I'm showing you over here. So you just connect your SIM card, come to like the devices which have been identified in your system. So by default, it will identify your SIM card over there as the SIM or use SIM module. So like I just have one of my SIM card identified as SIM module over there. Just click on that. And in that particular procedure, you have some basic way of extraction, like whether you want to go for the logical extraction or you want to go for some of the import extractions or something like that. So generally, when I talk about the SIM card, so in SIM card, you can only extract the logical data. So when I say this logical data, it means the data which is available on the SIM card, which are live over there, which are not deleted or which are not like being flushed out from that particular SIM card. So generally when we do SIM card extraction, so whatever the file systems are there, whatever the call contact messages are there stored on the SIM card space, so we used to extract from that particular space over there. So next I just proceed with that same thing and give it one of the path over there and give it the SIM card extraction as SIM demo and just click on next. So it will take some time, like around, depending on your capacity of your phone. Like generally, we have like 256 KB or 524 KB space in your SIM card. So you'll get some of the modules over there, whether the SIM card which you have plugged is either a SIM or a U SIM over there. So as I have already mentioned you and sir has already explained in the PPT also. So we have to decide the SIM card which we are putting for the extraction, like when we have the feature phones or the basic phones of earlier time, like GSM or CDMA times, then we go for the SIM module over there. Generally, when we have the SIM card for today's time, like 4G networks or the 3G networks over there, so we have the SIM card for the USIM module. So either we go for these two modules or we can go for the SIM module. Like I have the SIM card which is of like the prior time from the basic feature phone. I'll go for the SIM module and just click on the next. So it will by default identify the file system of that particular SIM card and extract the data from the same SIM, and it will give you all the call, contact, messages in that particular form. So we have another module for doing the analysis. Like I just come in one of the analysis module called as SIM examine over there. So we just see that all the call, contact, messages, device, files, and media all have been extracted from that particular SIM card. So like when I go on all artifacts for that particular segment and clicked on that, so you can see like if there is any kind of a contacts which have been saved on that particular phone, or any of the calls which have been made using that particular phone over there, or any type of messages which have been stored on the phone, that is being extracted from that particular SIM card over there. So same way, like when you do the same extraction with either the SIM card plugged in your phone, so in general you get some deleted calls, contact, and messages also. Like earlier, I have shown you one of the logical extraction of the SIM. Now you can see here, I have done already with one of the phone physical extraction, just plugged with that particular SIM card. You can see that all the deleted messages which have been highlighted in the red color are also being retrieved from that particular SIM card, or being from saved from that particular phone, or like any of your cloud space over there. So like when I come here in the all artifact segment, and you can see here like all the parts which have been received from that particular phone or the devices over there, like all the calls, contact, messages, and all these kind of a thing. And at the same time, like when I switch to my case model and I just come on that, so similar way you do the SIM card further extraction. So like I'll just hand over to sir now, and then we can just move on further with the mobile extraction on all these particular parts.
Okay, so like we have seen SIM card extraction here, like how to do the extraction from the SIM card. So if you use a normal method to view the data from a SIM card, it will take multiple hours or almost a day to see all that data. So within few minutes, in less than a minute, we were able to forensically extract the data from the SIM card, and it includes all the data which I have shared with you early in my earlier screen. So right now what I will do, like I will just, because of the shortage of time, we are having a session till 11:30. We are having a lot of things to demonstrate which are lying here on my table, like how to extract the data from a variety of different mobile phones, or maybe how to break the password of some kind of iPhone also. But with the for the limitation of the time, we will be just going short on this particular thing. So if you could just make a presenter back to me, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, like when we talk about the mobile phones, so like so then there is a like a memory card which is associated with the apart from the SIM card where the data is residing, so we can extract all the data. Like Abhishek mentioned, some in the SIM card we can get only the logical data as well as some of the deleted SMS also. But from the memory card, you can get a physical data. Physical data means you can also get a lot of deleted or formatted data from the memory cards also. Then there are this is like a process like how to do the investigation of any mobile phone, like identification, isolation, acquisition, examination, documentation, and reporting. So I'll show one of the like the thing which is available with me right now. So we generally say isolation is very important. Like there are many instances where the mobile phone is seized, but it was not protected properly, and the evidence was tampered. Like we all are using something like a Find My iPhone or Find My device kind of features on a iPhone or Android devices, and my if my phone is lost, so remotely with the credentials of that particular account I can wipe the data of the mobile phone. So similarly, if you are not protecting the evidence properly, so the mobile phone or device which you have seized from a suspect or criminal, and can they can also tamper the evidence remotely as well. So if you can see my screen here, this is a small bag which you can see it on my screen. Like this is called as Faraday bag. So whenever you are seizing a mobile phone, so this is made by a special nickel, copper, and silver material. So what you will do, you will just put the mobile phone in a working condition inside this particular Faraday bag and just uh, lock it. So now my mobile phone is on, but on the other hand, the mobile phone is isolated from the network, because as I mentioned initially, that all the wireless devices are working on a wireless radio frequency, wireless technology. So it is catching signals from the environment. So right now, this mobile phone is protected and kept inside this particular bag. So it is not taking any kind of signals which are available here. So you should always isolate the mobile phone from any kind of unwanted things happening to your original evidence. Maybe a tampering of the data, or some new messages are coming or new calls are coming, and you are missing the data which was actually available in that particular mobile phone. So this is some of the procedures which we adopt. Generally, we say you can put it in an airplane mode or you can use a mobile jammer. So airplane mode and the mobile jammers are not forensically sound method, but the Faraday bag which is available here, it is very much suitable and a forensically sound method to protect your or isolate your evidence from the any kind of signals. So as we have shown some of the data which was extracted from a SIM card, I'll ask my colleague because we don't have a time, and mobile extraction take few minutes to multiple hours, maybe up to a day also, depending upon the kind of the mobile phone we are extracting and how much memory it is having. So we are having a different ways of extracting the data. So he will just open and show some of the things to you, like which we already extracted earlier, like what all things can be extracted from a mobile phone, including available and deleted data. So when we do, we categorize this thing into three parts, like a logical, file system, and physical extraction. So in logical extraction, it will only allow the things which your operating system or the mobile phone is allowing you to extract. File system is slightly beyond, where you are getting a lot of files and hidden files also. So as I mentioned, like mobile phone works in a very different way than the Windows or laptops or desktops where we are using a Windows-based operating system where you can go into system folder or system32 folder and you can copy some of the hidden files or some kind of system files also from that particular machine. But in the mobile phone, in the normal circumstances, it is not feasible. So in a file system, you can get a files, hidden files also and deleted files also, and physical extraction, you are getting a lot of deleted data also, which can be extracted. So this is something quickly about logical extraction, which is quick and fast, and it can only a limited amount of data is extracted. Then file system extraction is more comprehensive, which can give you more data. And the physical extraction is a more thorough thing where you are getting all entire data. So this is about slightly about the mobile forensics, and these are some of the methods, advanced methods where you are having a damaged mobile phone and you want to extract the data. So we call something like a JTAG, where we find out the JTAG points of the mobile phone and connect that JTAG points to a PCB and then connect to the laptop and take the dump of the memory of that particular mobile phone. Apart from that, we also use some kind of chip off method, like where we burn the chip where the data is residing, like you are having a hard drive. Similarly, you are having a flash drives available in the mobile phones, which can be chipped off, and then you can get the binary data and convert that binary data into a readable kind of thing. So these are the few of the other advanced methods which are used. So I'll just show before taking any kind of question answers, one of the case where we can choose all the things which were extracted using a mobile phone, so that you can get a comprehensive idea like what all things can be extracted using that. So can you, sir, make Abhishek again a presenter so that we can show the one of the case, and then we can take up the question answers, because the session time, the next person must be waiting for the lecture. Hello.
Hello, Chetan sir.
Yes, sir, I have done this particular thing. Abhishek is now presenter and he will just show one of the case, and then we'll take any questions if you are having. So here you can see one of the screen where it is a comprehensive data. So like on the right side in the middle, you can see something like a calls, contacts. If Abhishek, you can zoom slightly. So these are variety of data which are there in which is distributed into categories like 508 calls, 757 contacts, around 108 K, 108,000 files and media files, 3 locations, 1306 messages, 7 something organizers, 6 security, which can have some passwords, web related 97 activities. And in the bracket, you can see in red in color, which is the deleted data. So these are all deleted data which was extracted. So few of the data will just show it to you how it looks like. So we'll show some messages to you. Like we can extract all kind of messages, like which can include your native SMS or WhatsApp, or maybe if it is iMessages, if it is an iPhone. So like this, you will be able to see all the data. Like it will look like exactly same the mobile phone was having. So like this, you will be able to get available and deleted data from the variety of mobile phones. And in many situations, we can also unprotect the like a pattern lock or the pin also of the mobile phone using this kind of mobile forensic application. So, sir, I think we were having a time till 11:30. We already slightly crossed the defined time. So, if any questions are there, we will be available, or maybe in an offline mode we can answer to you. I will just share my like contact details. So if anyone is having any kind of queries, you can write email to us also. So just can you share the contact screen? Or you can visit our website like Cyint.in, and there you can get all some of the details about our organization, and our contact details are also mentioned on this particular page, where the phone number and the email ID and other information is available. And so you can see the our contact details here on the screen. So we are waiting for any questions or feedback from any one of you or the organizers.
Chetan sir, I am audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible. Hello.
ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಸರ್ ವಿನಯ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಅದು
ವಿನಯ್,
ಸರ್ ಅವರು
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಇದು ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
I think I have sent the feedback link for the session. Anyway, sir, you're concluding the session as such?
Yeah, so it was assigned till 11:30. So if you have more time, we can continue and show some more demonstrations and some more thing. So
Okay. Sir, we are waiting for the questions from the participant side.
okay.
If they have any queries, it could be addressed now. The session is open now. You can unmute and have an interaction with the speaker, Vibhu Anand sir.
So we are also open as an industry to jointly work with your kind of institutes where we can collaborate and share some kind of our experience and knowledge and understanding in this particular domain and do some kind of research work together. So if your college or institute or the department is having a similar kind of mindset, and you have some students who can come up and take up some kind of development of these kind of technologies, so we will be happy to collaborate as well. And you all can contact here on this particular email ID which is provided here, and write to us, or your students can write to us all as well. So I think there are no questions, so we can conclude the session now, sir.
Okay. Sudha madam? Okay.
Thank you, Vibhu sir, for the wonderful session. And it is a very informative session, and we gained a lots of knowledge from this session. Thank you once again for accepting our invitation and giving the wonderful knowledge on mobile investigation. Thank you once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you, organizer and all the attendees.
Sudha madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to leave the meeting, close the meeting for a short duration of time.
Yes, sir.
And that way we'll be generating the report.
Yes, sir.
I will restart again. I request all of the participants to rejoin with the same link within 2 minutes. And probably in another 5 minutes, we will begin the next session. Is it okay, madam? Sudha, madam?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to conclude the meeting, but I have posted the link for the feedback on session 1. Please click on the link and give your feedback on the session 1. It was on mobile phone investigations by Mr. Vibhu Anand.